Well, it looks like we're going back into airgun territory this week, and we're going to be doing it with the Umarex T.P. 45. Check this thing out with me. And of course, before we get started, don't forget to check out our friends over there at Workaday Custom Gun Leather, custom made to order. Go ahead and check them out. So several years ago, I was wandering through Walmart shelves, of course, like literally everybody when they got nothing better to do. And I went through the sporting goods section and I came across this little thing, the T.P. 45. And I'm looking at it on the shelf and I'm thinking to myself, well, that looks kind of neat, and the price was right. I don't even remember how much it was, but it probably couldn't have been more than 30 bucks. I wouldn't even imagine. So I picked it up and I took it home and started trying to figure this thing out. So as it turns out, it is a magazine loaded 177 BB semi-auto, charged in the back here, and you stick a CO2 cartridge in there. Pretty cool, right? So I'll show you guys how to do that, how to load the magazine, and then we'll take some shots at the target down there, see how it does. So there's a couple things that you have to do to load this thing up. So first and foremost, you have to load your projectiles. It releases just like any other pistol from the side there, spits the magazine out. Next thing you're going to do to load that magazine up, you're going to get a bunch of BBs to put in there. So I just went down to the local shop and got some Crosman 177 copperheads. I think like for, what is this, 1,500 count, it cost me like $7 or something like that. So super inexpensive. So all you do is you just pop top on there, and then you got to set the magazine. So in order to load this magazine, you got to take, there's a spring charger right there, you got to take it all the way down. Now you're not going to load at the top. You might be able to see the claw up there, that's the retainer. You're actually going to load it through this little port right here. So you should be able to just pour them right in there. Right, to shake it a little bit, I guess. Yeah. So kind of angle it down. Oh god. Well, probably not the best method. Yeah. Good enough. Now as you can see right here, the magazine's loaded up. So to charge the magazine, just kind of press that, and that little claw is going to grab it and it's going to hold it. So go ahead and load it up. Now normally you want to put in the CO2 cartridge first, but because this is completely inert, it's got no pressure, no way that this thing can shoot at all, it's okay right now. So now at this point I'm just going to pop the back. Alright, expose that. I'm going to reach down into my magazine pouch here, and I've got the CO2 cartridge. You see how I load it? And that top part right there, see that right at the top? That's going to punch. You might be able to see the little needle right in that little hole there. Stick it in. Again, screw it. And there's like a little screw right here. That's going to enable you to get the cartridge in there. Close it up. Now meanwhile, the entire time you're keeping that muzzle pointed away from you, because just in case, right? So don't screw around with it. And then all you do is the little screw at the bottom here that you can see, you screw it in. Alright, and you hear that? That means that the CO2 was punctured, so now this gun's charged. So at this point, the only thing left to do is put it on fire and we can shoot. So let's take some shots with this thing. I'm going to step it out about 5 paces and see how this thing does. Keep in mind, this is not a powder burning gun. This is not going to have any kind of real velocity. At best, I think it might have had 350 feet per second at best. So we're going to just see how it does, you know, just for the fun of it. Feels good in the hand, so I mean, let's see how it aims. And there's 5 shots out of this thing. As you can see, there is no recoil whatsoever, absolute zero, because there's nothing to recoil. So the trigger is pretty horrendous, I'll tell you that right now. But let's see how we did on target. And there's the group right there at 5 paces. Yeah, not that great, but I mean, it's a BB gun. What do you expect? Well, as always, I like to stretch my legs a little bit and have fun with it. So I took it out 10 paces, and we're gonna see how this thing actually does. If it does good enough, which I doubt it will, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna shoot at those steel. Anyway, let's check this out. I can actually see the BBs flying through the air. Well, to be honest, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised at 10 paces. Held true in there. Now, obviously, the original group was still there. I didn't bother pasting it. But it didn't really make a huge deviation. It pretty much held true there. And same up there. I noticed they like to go left. And yeah, I did hit the dinger. So let's shoot a little bit more. It's kind of fun. Well, the Umarex surprised me. At 10 paces, it was actually shooting pretty darn good. After you get used to the trigger, you kind of figure out where the CO2 is going to break, where it's going to shoot out. It gets easier to shoot it, and it's actually a lot of fun. The best part about this is you can go out in your backyard and shoot. There's no sound whatsoever. As you can obviously hear, there's just a little bit of air puffing out. That's about it. The travel of the BB is negligible at best, so I'm kind of shocked that at 10 paces it was still shooting pretty good. I mean, it could still harm somebody if it was shot unsafely, but if you were shooting into like a pile like I've got over there, I mean, you're in pretty good shape. As long as you're wearing your proper safety apparel, you know, in case there's bounce back or something like that, but you can still have a lot of fun with this darn thing. And the cost, here's the winner. Right now in 2021, we're having, obviously everybody knows, the ammo crisis. The cost of this thing to shoot, it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. I got a pack of CO2 cartridges for I think like $5. All right, 1,500 BBs in that little container over there. I could shoot this thing for as long as I feel like it until I run out of CO2, and then, you know, I'll just go out and spend another $5 at the Walmart and get more. The cost is almost nothing next to regular ammunition. So if you just want to go out and shoot in your backyard, but you either can't find ammunition or the cost is just stupid the way it is today, thanks gougers. If you just want something that you can shoot in the backyard for little price and you still want to have fun, you know, shoot some cans off a log or something, this thing's awesome. So far, just for me shooting this thing, I'm not disappointed. Actually, I'm going to make a ding right now. Oh man, that's fun. So let's load that magazine back up. Yeah, we just ran out of empty. So I'm confident that the CO2 is actually still in good shape. I don't know, maybe. We're gonna find out when it just stops shooting. I guess. It's kind of fun, I guess. You know, I mean, like the power aspect of it is obviously non-existent. What could you actually use this thing for? Well, we're about to do just that. I set up a couple little fun targets down there to just kind of plink at, but otherwise that's about it, really. If you want to teach a new shooter like some basics about pistol marksmanship, I guess you could do that. They could learn what a crappy trigger feels like. Maybe you could hand it off to a youngster and they can kind of get their first taste of what it's like to shoot something similar to a firearm. So that's an option too. Now, is this thing a defensive weapon? Absolutely not. No way. Like you guys just saw, it barely punched through the paper. No way would this thing protect you in a fight. No way. Now, I can hear some people saying, well, what if you just pulled it out to scare them? Well, let me ask you this, okay? Why do dogs have teeth? Because the bark is not enough, right? So pulling something out just to scare a potential bad guy, well, if they're committed enough, and most of them are, just trying to scare them ain't gonna do it. So I wouldn't recommend it at all. Just keep this thing for the backyard, maybe teaching the kids how to shoot a pistol or something like that. Please don't carry this thing for defensive means. It's a bad idea. So anyway, let's get back to it. I set up a can down there and a few clay pigeons. So we're gonna see if it even can break the clay pigeons. I have my doubts, but we're about to find out. So I'm gonna do it at about 10 paces. That seemed like it would do pretty good. And then we'll have some fun with it. Well, it outperformed my expectations. It really did. I didn't even think it was going to penetrate through the clays, but it did. Hitting dingers. Oh man, at 10 paces, actually, that's that's a lot of fun. Even up close too. One last little bit, just for fun. I'm out here at 25 yards. Listen closely. Let's see if we can hear that dinger. "25 yards with this stupid thing." That's awesome. Well, now that I know I can hit the dingers at 25, let's see what we can do on target. Let's see how that worked out. Well, the darn camera fell over, so I'm going to see how that came out. But at 25 yards, wow, you gotta be kidding me. Alright guys, I hope you had as much fun as I did. You know, I was rooting around in the gun safe and I found this thing. I completely forgot I had it. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I found this. I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you did too. If you want to see more stuff like this, air guns, things like that, by all means, shout it out in the comments, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your buddies. I'm going to shoot this thing a little bit more. So until next time, guys.